Hi, James. I'd value your perspective on Neptune digital assets to enhance shareholder value. Recently, Cale Moody, CEO, polled shareholders on X about whether the company should increase its SpaceX holdings or diversify into Tesla and Neuralink. Additionally, Neptune announced an expanded Solana staking partnership with Sol Strategies. I saw that. I did look for the poll briefly. I couldn't find the poll from Cale, but I need to get more time to go through his whole wall. Given these moves and the potential for a U.S. crypto reserve strategy in 2025, do you see Neptune as well positioned to capitalize on these opportunities? And what do you think are the key drivers, whether it's SpaceX stake, new investments, or staking revenue that could significantly boost the company value? Neptune is an interesting company, and in full disclosure, I own some because they have. I needed a SpaceX proxy because I didn't have any SpaceX exposure, and I wanted it. I've got lots of Tesla exposure. I got lots of Bitcoin exposure. I got lots of Solana exposure, but they have all my favorite bags. So it's like, except for Tesla. Should they buy Tesla? I think everybody should buy Tesla, to be honest. Should they buy more Sol? I think it depends. I'll get to that in a second. So there's a lot of dimensions to this question. It's a tricky one. What would I do in their shoes? So first of all, Starlink, and I touched on this briefly yesterday. Elon Musk owns a global communications network that can be deployed anywhere in a flash, whether you're in a tropical rainforest or in a war zone and you need comms, or a hurricane disaster zone. Terrestrial comms are failing. Space comms are not. So they own the global network. Think of it like a global AT&T or cable company. It's kind of stunning. And now the FCC and all of the government is no longer conducting lawfare against Elon Musk and his companies. They're embracing them. If this happens, this could be huge for SpaceX as well. We're already seeing T-Mobile partner with them as well for emergency comms. If you are, say, hiking, imagine being out in the wilderness where there's no cell towers, no cell phone signal. You're on your own, or you're mountain biking. It's happened to me. I was out with a friend mountain biking years ago, and we were doing some jumps. He came off his bike and banged his head. He was concussed. It was just me and him out there. No comms whatsoever. If I had communications, I would have ordered a helicopter or something to bail us out. Instead, it was a real struggle to get back. Anyhow, that's why it's important. That's coming. So that's first of all. Second of all, SpaceX, I think, would be my vote, but with a caveat I'll show you in a second, because they are the leader in space. They put 90% of everything into space. They have the global comms network. They 10x in the last 4 years, and they'll probably 10x again. I think the current value is about 360 billion. So it's going to 3.6 trillion probably in the next 5 years or so. They are helping government get astronauts out of space. And also, if I was the US government, space is the next frontier. It needs to be secured. All right. It's going to be very, very important. If I was the US government, I'd really focus on getting close, not with Boeing or NASA, but with SpaceX, especially around the heat that's building in the world, which we will not talk about today. Now, there is something else. Bitcoin and Solana or Tesla, as I mentioned, are also an option, but SpaceX is super interesting. The current allocation towards SpaceX is around 17%, I think, within Neptune. It might be higher because the value of Bitcoin and Solana have fallen, whereas SpaceX is steady. The question we have now in crypto, and this goes beyond Neptune, is, are we in that bear trap we see right now? In fact, let me just fire up, see what's happening. It looks like Bitcoin did bottom at 82K a few hours ago. Yeah, it's 83.4, so it's up $1,400. Hopefully, but it's been staggering around this area for like 7 or 8 days. So it's a classic double bottom, which is what I like to see. The question we have here, we had the most incredible news come out on Thursday and Friday last week, or a few days ago. And the market didn't explode. But that's typical because humans are impatient and they need that instant gratification. If they don't get it, they get pissed off and they leave. And that's why we're seeing the weakness in the market. I think this is a classic bear trap. I think we're still in the bull market. I'm 95% sure we're still in the bull market. But this bear trap is designed to break your heads. Do not leave. Do not leave at this stage, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I think more of everything, more SpaceX, maybe a little Tesla, wouldn't hurt. Dan Ives says it's going to double in less than 12 months, maybe more. Sol is drastically undervalued for crypto. Like I mentioned a few weeks ago, I did a math model. If Solana was valued like Bitcoin based on users, based on revenue, based on adoption, based on transactions, etc., the market cap would be $24 trillion. Okay, Bitcoin's 2. So it'd be 12 times more valuable than Bitcoin. And I know Bitcoin's a store of value and stuff, but just putting things in perspective, cream will eventually float to the top. We just don't know when. So are we in a bear trap? I'm not sure. I think we probably are. So a combination, a little bit, but I think more SpaceX would be great. Some Tesla would be good. A little more Sol, very undervalued. Either way, I think the rest of the year will be good. We're going through the short-term pain now with the tariff terrors and macro uncertainty and saber rattling around the world, but hang tough. We should be okay in a few months, hopefully.